I don't know about you, but it's clicked for me in the past couple of years that I have gotten very good at suppressing myself and suppressing my desires. In fact, I might be the poster child for it. I'm not sure. Although, really, I think there's a lot of us out there. It's really funny. I'm a little bit angry right now. I have a lot of emotions coming up. A lot of things that kept me so close to just not hitting record today. Is it possible that I could have gotten to this another day? Maybe. But I'm finding it really interesting how there seems to be this battle of me accepting that it's okay to have my own desires, that it's okay for me to want things for myself, that it's okay to prioritize yourself and not be giving up your entire life in self-sacrifice to others. This is where it gets complicated, right? Because there are good things involved in sacrifice. It's good to work hard. And I'm not saying any of those things are not good, but we actually are not meant to just put our nose to the grindstone and grind it out till we retire, and then you get to enjoy life. I hear on podcasts and other things that, oh, your happiness dips way down in your 30s and 40s while you're raising kids, and that's just normal. You know, you'll be happy again when you retire. And I'm like, just something deep down in me is like, no, there's got to be another way. We're called to live a joy-filled life. It's just something's wrong. Something's wrong. And so it's a couple things with today. First off, I'm worried that I won't do this topic justice. Another thing is I feel like actually I'm getting more and more to what I'm kind of called to be talking about, something where I could really help others. And so I think there's a bit of a nervousness rising up in me of talking about this. Also, I wonder if I'm not talking about it right, or I'm going to I'm going to cover too much in too short of a time. But I said to myself, it's okay. Think about this, because all of those thoughts came up and it was like, just don't do it. Don't do it. And then I have other obligations in both my work and personal life pulling at me right now. I got people blowing me up, wanting things. I'm like, well, that's really funny that all of this happened today, right now, as I'm about to do this video. But I'm like, no, you know what? Because it's like procrastination comes up and it would be so easy to just be like, I'll film this one another day. But I'm just like, no, the viewpoint is you look at this as the intro to this topic and then you can keep going. I can keep going. But yes, I got really good at suppressing myself and my own desires. In fact, on some level, I think that I thought it was wrong to have your own desires and pursue them, that was selfish in some way. I was so sure that what I wanted in life was irrelevant because of all of the obligations in life, the mouths to feed, the bills to pay. I was just so sure that it didn't matter. Just shove it down. It doesn't. Be happy with the blessings that you do have and do your work. And once again, you'll get your happiness when you retire. And I had this belief too that work is not something to be enjoyed, but work is something to grind it out. You need to be realistic. If I saw other people going after what they want, I would be a little bit jealous. But I'd also just kind of be like, well, they're not being realistic. That's why I went to business school and got a business degree. instead of something else, because I'm going to be realistic and I'm going to get a job that makes me money so that I can afford to live. And I want to say too, there's that point of view did help me, did serve me, and it's not all wrong. That's also why I'm having some difficulty filming this video, is that black and white thinking comes up. I'm really not saying that that's all wrong. This is a nuanced topic. It really needs some unpacking. But I found at a certain point, and yes, a part of this is where a lot of things converged, where I did get some more stability for myself in life. And then I thought, okay, so how long am I going to do this for? How long am I going to be in this career that I don't like? Do I need to just keep my head down and work till I retire? And then I can enjoy my life, and don't you dare ask for more? You know, that worked for me for a while, but it came to a time where it just didn't work anymore. And I was suppressing myself so much that I think it came out in my body. There was health issues that started rising up. Again, there's a lot to unpack there, that I could approach that from so many different angles, and I probably will over the course of this channel. You know, there's mental, physical, spiritual, looking at it through a lens of complex trauma, looking at it through a mental health lens, looking at it through all the things we can do to help our physical health on a diet and lifestyle level. But I'm not getting into that today, all the reasons. I'm just talking about how I was ignoring some of my giftings, ignoring who God wired me to be. And I also had unbelief that I could do work that's a good fit for me and make money at it. You know, I had this thought, that you just really, to make money and be successful, there's only a few things you can do, right? It needs to be numbers related, business related, or you need to be like an engineer, or you need to be a doctor, or a few other things, none of which interested me. And I was like, oh, well, it's too bad. Like, it just must be so lucky for those people who are interested in those fields. They're just lucky they get to do what they want. Too bad for me. Nobody's gonna pay me to talk about the things that I'm interested in. Well, with this YouTube channel, I'm challenging that belief, and I'm mostly challenging it right now for myself, to be honest. And God's revealed to me over the last couple of years how much unbelief I've had in that area. And I've been presented once again with those stories of people who pursued what they wanted, which, by the way, when I talk about self-suppression, I tuned all of that out. I didn't believe it to the point where I would click off a video if people talked about pursuing the things that they wanted and their desires. I would be in my head, I'd say, unrealistic. I'm not listening to this. I don't want to hear it. I think it made me a little mad on some level. What does that mean? There was a lot to process there. First, I had to be open to it. So there's so many steps that needed to take place in my life and in my heart before I even recorded this video. You know, it is a factor that I needed more stability in my life before I was able to do this. And that's okay, you know? So maybe that time where I did soldier on some level did need to happen, and on some level is for a purpose. So I guess I want to say that too, to be compassionate on myself. And if you're in that place too, really no matter what place you're in, for you to be compassionate on yourself too. that's something that's helpful, and compassion does help us take the next step and figure out what the next step even is. But yeah, I've realized in the last couple of years how much unbelief I really had in my heart. God revealed that to me, and it was unbelief with some things with relationships, with trusting other people, for others to be there for me. It was unbelief with my work. Unbelief that I could get paid to do something that was a good fit for me, or something even that I desired. That was for a few lucky people, and I wasn't one of them. I even said to a friend that I made last year, and we actually met on an app, like a friendship app specifically designed for believers in Christ. And I kind of had this thought last year when I got on the app, which was out of such a point of frustration. I was like, God, I just need one believing friend. Like there's something to, I'm not asking for too much, right? I just need one friend. Well, I got that one friend, and we lived a ways apart from each other, but we meet up at the halfway point and have lunch together or coffee or something like that. And I didn't think we were going to talk about this kind of stuff, but she also left a career that she had a graduate degree in. She left that and was pursuing what she wanted. And so I started talking to her about that. And I'll be honest, this is only a year ago. It made me so nervous to even think about the possibility of a next phase of life that I was even almost a little annoyed. And she actually encouraged me to ask God what he has next for me. And I even said to God, because I like to be very honest with God, I was like, God, I find this annoying. I don't know what you're doing. I had my whole life path set out, but fine, I'll ask, what do you have next for me? And I do think in some ways, there's a fight and a battle around the calling that you have for your life. And I've just had also too a lot of limiting beliefs around the fact that you can have what you want. But then I found more and more verses in the Bible, in the Psalms in particular, like Psalm 37, 4-5, says, delight yourself in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to him, and he shall bring it to pass. And I had some come to Jesus moments where it was like, okay, do I believe that or not? And if not, why? Like I said, there's a whole journey before I even got to this point, and before I hit record today on this video. So I'm going to leave this here today. I hope to talk about this more. Let me know in the comments what you think. And are you also at a place where you're pursuing what you want in life, and maybe you were at a spot where you didn't even think that that was okay for a while, and you're kind of having a change of mind? Let me know, and I will talk to you in the next video.